Have you ever been in a situation where you feel defeated, depleted, and out of answers? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix common mistakes like this. The honest truth is, though, a lot of these mistakes can be easily fixed with the correct knowledge. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take these mistakes and turn them into a successful paint job with just a little bit of knowledge. So let's get started. And welcome back to this episode of Paint Society. Now, today's episode started off like any other day in the paint booth. We have a rear bumper and the slightest of damage here on the taillight pocket. So we're going to be putting some paint in this area and blending into the quarter panel so we have a good color match as well. Now in this video, we're going to be using the Porpoise PRD 510. This is a smaller paint gun, an incredibly built paint gun. We're going to be using this for the first time. It's got a 1.0 tip on it, so we're going to be using this for a little bit smaller stuff like we're doing here. You can do bigger jobs with it, but it will not put the amount of paint on that you want. So if you're in a rush or you're doing bigger things, it's not the job. Got Paint Society on the back there. That's super cool that they did that for me. So to set this up, we'll wind out the fluid control and then hold the trigger, and then once it stops, we're set at wide open. Our fan we're going to have all the way to wide open, and our air valve on the bottom all the way to wide open. So at this point, we're ready to go. We've got our base coat first. It's this paint code NH893P. This is a newer paint code from Hondas and Acuras. It is a beautiful black metallic. Now we've already got this bumper color sealed in black sealer, and we're putting on just 2 coats of this solvent-based Sikkens paint. That's all it will need. Now it is about 100 degrees in the paint booth right now. It is incredibly hot in the paint booth right now. So we're using the extra slow reducer, and that's just gonna make sure that that paint lays down super smooth, so when the clear coat hits it, everything's smooth. And you know, if you don't have a smooth foundation, it's just not going to be working in your benefit. Now here we're just doing a little bit of black paint. This is sanded with a P800 grit, so business as usual. We're getting everything down. The spray gun's working really well. I'm enjoying it. It's a second coat here, a base. Now, after the second coat, we can see it's really flashed off, and this is the look that you want to get. It is a nice flat look. Moving along to the PRD 717, my buddy Mario from Mario's Paint Class, he had the same exact one. He wanted to lend it to me, but actually we figured out it's the same one, different color. Now this spray gun comes with the 1.3. On the back here we have the air, not on the bottom, and then we have our fluid, and then we have our fan. Now this gun has a super huge fan, I gotta say, and I did want to clean it up, so about a quarter of a turn maybe, that will clean it up just a little bit. Now getting started here, I didn't put it on too wet. I'm moving quickly just to kind of get the feel of the gun. And as I'm moving along, I noticed that something is a little bit weird, because all of a sudden I see something drip onto the panel. Now I'm using the S27 adapter, the PPS adapter, and at this moment I'm like, here we go. This is the beginning of the end for any painter. This is supposed to be just a routine job, in and out, move on to the next. And right here I'm just thinking about what just happened. I know for certain it's not a run. You can't get a run that quick. So I did actually see something come out of the gun. I'm using the S27 adapter, and I guess it wasn't tight enough. You can see here, that's a drip right out of the paint cup. So it's not the PPS cup. It came right out of the S27 adapter. That was the adapter that I had that fit, so I put it in there, and like any other painter, a good painter, we just ignore it for now, and we're going to let it dry, because we know that we can get out of this later. So I ended up switching to the cup that comes with the actual paint gun. Thank God it came with a cup. Some of the paint guns nowadays, they just don't come with the cups. And then usually the cups are the first thing I toss, but I saved it this time. So now it's not leaking. That was a problem. I got to find the correct PPS adapter, because right now I'm painting this bumper. I'm like, let me just salvage what I can of this job. I have an idea in the back of my head. Thank God it's 100 degrees in the paint booth. Thank God I didn't put on that paint too wet, because this little trick that I'm going to show you coming up really did save me. Now, any good painter knows that you are not going to be able to always fix every job right away in the booth, that you're going to need some time for that paint to dry. And I've already got this in the back of my head, because God knows I have been here before. So let's get the bumper all done. Let's salvage one job at least. And we're going to use just a piece of tape here. This is a 2-inch piece of tape, and What we want to do is we want to get the meat of the run up or the drip. Now, granted, this is 25 minutes later. You want to let this really dry. You can see that the paint really didn't go on too wet. And what that did is that took out the body of the drip. And if you were to leave this and put paint over it, it's going to be very difficult to get out. So we want to get most of it out now. So we've got the body of it out. And granted, you need to allow this to dry. So we're just going to continue on like we were. We're not going to put on a full coat. We're not going to go down the dog leg. We're just going to act like that never happened, and we're going to put paint back on the panel. We're not going to try to put paint only in that area. Some painters that are newbies might have this issue, or I need to fix this area. No, it's business as usual. We're just going to continue along. We're going to act like that is not even there. So I'm just continuing with my paint job. At the very least, I know in the back of my head, if I'm going to have to repaint this, at least let me get 2 coats on here so I can scuff it up and then just go back and re-clear if need be. So the one thing that painters do is that they just feel like they need to fix it in that moment, and you really don't. You need to let the chemicals really dry. This is 15 minutes later. I really let it dry with that heat on. I turned it up to 120 degrees, and the spray gun is doing a great job, by the way, atomizing the paint, the clear coat, very well. So I'm putting it on, and I really want to allow that first coat to initially dry so that I can build on top of it. Because if we try to sink in another coat too early, it's going to sink right into that area where it's a little bit depressed from where we put the tape. And we want that area to kind of build a surface so that the second layer can build on top of it, so we have some body to it later on when we go to lightly sand it and polish it. We want some meat, we want some clear coat in that area of that defect in order to polish it out. So business as usual. We're putting on our second coat. Really happy with the spray gun. No leaks. We know that the cup fixed the issue, and we need to find the correct PPS adapter. It wasn't an issue with the base coat. I just took the PPS adapter out, switched it out. It threads in perfectly, but obviously there's an issue with the sealing at the bottom of it. So if you guys can input and tell me exactly which PPS adapter you're using, I would gladly like to purchase that. So moving on to the bumper cover, just finishing this up, completely ignoring that there's a run there. We're not spending any time on it. All we're doing is we'll just put a little bit more material in there. Run, drip, it's going to be basically the same thing. Now, this is a drip, so it was just in that area, but a run might be a little bit more excessive, might have 2 or 3 drips within it. But you can see the clear coat finish is just stunning. Great atomization. Not the easiest gun to use, I will tell you. There are better guns. It's a little bit more expensive for a cheaper replica gun, but it really did a great job. I mean, black is a true test. You can see how shiny it is. And there's our defect. It's still going to be there, and I'm okay with that because I already have an idea of what I'm going to do. Because when we put the piece of tape on it, obviously took the body out, but when you have a drip, it's going to pull down the material. And so when we use that tape, it's going to show the indentation of where that run originally was. But again, toll cut, always to the rescue. I don't know where I'd be without these little Kovacs, little blocks. This is 1200 grit. I'm going to put this in the description. Now, I went a little bit too soon on here, but I want to see, hey, do I need to repaint this? So this is about an hour after bake, and I just want to see what was going on. Is it going to sand out? And obviously I wanted to give it a little bit of a scratch because after this I put the bake back on to let it harden, and by opening it up a little bit, you can open it up and then put it in the sun if you're in a little bit of a rush. And this is going to allow the sun or the heat to penetrate into the pores of those sand scratches to really dry that run up or that clear coat up. Now, it's so very, very important to use a block. Now, the thing I like about these Kovacs blocks is that they are very hard and they don't have any give, so they cut. And if the clear coat is not dry, they're not going to cut properly. So you need to make sure that clear coat is cut. So I noticed here, you know, it's dry. It's not as dry as I want it. So again, any good painter knows that problems are not always fixed in the moment, that these chemicals do need to dry. So we took a moment and we realized, hey, let's let this dry a little bit more. We came back an hour later. This is an hour later after another bake cycle at 150 degrees. And now we can see that that clear coat, it's powdering up just a little bit. I think the biggest problem with anyone is getting into a rush when trying to fix things. Let these materials dry. Now, after we did the 1200 grit, then we moved on to a 1500 grit. again using the block, and what this does is going to completely start to level it out even more. So 1500 grit on the block, and now we're going to extend it about a ½ inch past those initial 1200. 1200 is really a good initial grit to use because it is kind of coarse. It's going to cut, but it's not going to remove too much material. If you're not getting anything out with 1200, odds are you might need to repaint it. Moving along to our 3-inch Bufflex, this is a great way to refine the scratch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to blend it out a little bit more, about an inch or two past the initial repair area, and this is just going to give a nice transition between the repaired area and the rest of the texture of that clear coat. So that's all it takes, and at this point we're going to use our compound and we're going to use our polisher to really make sure that all the sand scratches are removed. And look at this, guys, cannot be happier with the end result here. The clear coat drip is completely removed from the surface. We did not have to use anything less than 1200 grit. So I really feel good about this repair here, and we did it honestly just by having a little bit of knowledge and being patient. This is completely good to go. You need to know how to remove these little issues in your paint. And I did it right in the paint booth, because if I had to repaint it, I'm scuffing it right there. I don't care that it's in the paint booth. We can blow the paint booth out. It's not going to be a problem, and I'm going to repaint it. So that's why I kept it masked up. Now I know I'm good to go. But I hope these tips and tricks helped you guys along the way if you have any issues to get your paint job all corrected. This is Brian from Paint Side, reminding you, don't think it's just paint. I'll see you guys on the next episode.